The mathematics for Senegal has gone bad. The math is not mathing. The math is not mathing. Senegal were counting that they have one more AFCON with them. All of a sudden, 2 months later, around 59, 58 days later, they are told, no, you have to make a return. You have to make a return. The trophy does not belong to you. So, Casey, what do you think about this CAF decision to overturn the victory and award to Morocco? Because they announced it late last night.
Yeah. First of all, is like we were saying before the show started. If you won a bet that day, that final,
you need to refund.
You need to refund the money now.
Guys, you need to refund the money?
Yes, you need to refund the money now because CAF said you didn't win it.
Yes.
CAF said you didn't win it, so you better refund. That's on a lighter note. See, my problem with this thing is that I like to be plain. This is the law.
Yeah.
This is actually the law. It's the law. Yeah. Once you leave a game, you forfeited it 3-0 to the other team. But the problem with this is because anything you want to do, contest is important. You know. Now, they try to follow the letter of the law instead of following like emotions or what have you. But the problem with this is that why didn't you announce this the next day?
Yeah.
Why didn't you announce it that same day?
Yeah. Why wait 2 months?
Almost 2 months. Why? Why wait almost 2 months to announce this? This is if at the end of that day, that particular day that final was played, that they announced Morocco as the winners, I'm sure many people will not be. It'll be like, okay, yeah, they walked out of the pitch. That's the law.
Yeah,
we would have understood what is going on. But you announced these people as the winner. You allowed them to do a parade. You did everything you did. Then 2 months later, you're coming out to tell us that they are no longer the champion. So what do you want them to do? They should email their medal back, or they should DHL it back to you.
They should swap medals. Remember, Morocco have the runners-up medal, and Senegal have the winners medal. So they swap.
Yeah, this is not good at all, because this is what we are seeing now. A lot of coaches, a lot of we've seen Carragher insult AFCON. A lot of coaches don't want to sign African players because of AFCON. They tell you, I don't want to lose my players to AFCON at that important part of the season. This is a competition that, yes, we African, we love it so much. It's a very big competition for us, and we are trying to popularize it, try to make it popular. What do they think this will do to it?
Oh, it has completely ruined the remaining reputation
of CAF, of not just the tournament itself, not just the association, the tournament itself, even the players. Because Carragher can now say, I said it, everybody was on my neck. Look at it. You're giving him ammunition. All the people that all those coaches, everybody that have said they don't want their players to go to look at what you are doing. Look at what is happening.
True.
Look at what is happening. So it means if I want to win AFCON, I should go and host it. That is what is happening. It's looking like if I want to win it, I go and host it.
Yeah. It's apparently it's hurt the reputation of CAF and African football. And I just want to read the press release before we actually as we continue to react on this. The news broke late last night. I think it was around close to midnight Kenyan time, and I was almost actually Casey jumping onto a quick live to mention it, but the Champions League games were ongoing, and I was watching a couple of them. So I said, since we are going to have this midweek debate, we'll just discuss here. So the CAF Appeal Board decided that in application of Article 84 of the regulations of the CAF African Cup of Nations, AFCON, the Senegal national team is declared to have forfeited the final match of the Total Energies CAF AFCON Morocco 2025. with the result of the match being recorded as 3-0 in favor of the Morocco Football Federation. Now, Morocco appealed. You remember, Casey, when we were discussing about that game, I told you that they will give Senegal the trophy, and then Morocco will appeal, and then they'll be given the trophy. You remember that's what I said, so that everyone is kept happy.
Yes.
And it has happened. I expected it. I expected Morocco to appeal and to win the appeal. Now, Senegal have gone to appeal to the what is it called? Sports arbitration. Yes. So it might actually be tricky because based on this report, the appeal was lodged by Morocco. The CAF disciplinary board decision is set aside, and then the appeal board found that the conduct of the Senegal national team fell within the scope of Article 82 and Article 84 of the regulations of AFCON. So I'm trying to find out those articles and what they say. So further to that, you remember that actually those teams were fined, the coaches were fined, and players were fined.
Yes.
Okay. So the fine of 100,000 USD imposed on Ismail Saibari is set aside.
Do you know that this one is not going viral? This thing you said now is not going viral.
Yeah. It's not.
They just want to make Moroccans happy. This thing is not going viral. Everybody's talking about the cup itself.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy won't pay that fine again.
No, he won't. Furthermore, the $50,000. You remember the fine imposed on Morocco's ball boys in the incident has been reduced to $50,000. And then the fine of $100,000 imposed on Morocco in respect to interference around the OFR and VAR review area is confirmed. So they've been charged $100,000 for interference with VAR, and then they've also been you remember the laser incident? The fine has been reduced to 10,000. I think it was around 30,000. So all other motions or prayers for relief are dismissed.
African football.
What is African football without drama, Casey? What is African football without drama? Tell me.
I mean, we don't. Oh, this case is actually simple. You know, they should have left it the way it was.
Yeah. They
should have left it the way it was, because now I said this is the law. If once you leave the pitch, you forfeit, and But I just thought about it again. Morocco, Senegal actually finished that game.
Yes.
You shouldn't have allowed them back to the pitch. I don't know if you should have enforced the law on that very day.
A question, Casey. A question. Senegal, some players left, not all. Some players left, came back. The game was played. A penalty was given. He missed the penalty. It went to extra time. Senegal won. So the question is, what if Morocco were the ones who won?
Yes.
What if Morocco are the ones who won? Will they have fined both teams similar to this? What if Senegal appealed? Will they have overturned it? So
this is not good for African football. This is not good for African football.
It's not.
It's not good. It's not good. We're trying to build standards to make it more appealing to the world. And look at what we are doing.
Yeah.
Look at what we are doing.
In fact, the best decision, Casey, would have been replay the final in a neutral ground. That would have been fair for everyone.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's replay it. They choose one day before the World Cup starts, and then they set a neutral ground. It can even be played in Europe.
Yeah.
They say it's inconclusive because I'm trying to look for Article 82. It states that the team which withdraws, fails to appear, refuses to play, or leaves the pitch before full time without the referee's consent, loses the match and is eliminated. So under this provision, referee Ndala Ngambo should not have allowed play to resume.
But he
Article
did.
80, he
He did
did.
allow it to. Yes. So what
Yes.
that means if I give somebody, that means if I can say if okay, let's say for example the Sesco goal,
Yeah.
it goes into the net, right? I can come and okay, no, the Aston Villa goal that we say is a handball. That means a court can come to there and say that it's no longer a goal.
Yes. Yes.
So that is the precedent they're trying to tell us. A
Yeah.
court can come and say it's no longer a goal. Then the goal will be removed at the point deducted and added to the other team.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
It will happen. You remember that game during what was it called? COVID. You remember that game after COVID, during COVID, Brighton versus Manchester United. They called the players back to take the penalty. You remember?
Yes.
VAR checked, the full-time whistle had been blown, and then the players were recalled and told, hey, come back, take the penalty. Bruno took the penalty, the game ended. And you remember actually what happened? The FA had to change its rules so that doesn't happen again. So now you look at this one, the referee allowed the game to continue. So that means he was also supported by the tournament committee, the tournament judges. The tournament judges told him,
they spoke.
Yes, they spoke. They told him, you just continue with the game. So now the same people are coming to say it was wrong for the referee to continue with the game. So in that case, then the referee and the tournament committee should also be fined.
Yeah.
Actually, Senegal might win this case in the court of arbitration.
Yeah, it's looking like they might.
They might win because yes, as much as Article 82 was invoked, but the tournament committee and the referee continued with the match. The game should have ended straight away.
You asked a very important question. What if Diaz has scored that penalty?
And Morocco won.
And Morocco won. Would they come and tell us that Morocco didn't win because, or would they ask for a replay?
Yeah. You see, and then Article 84 confirms that any team breaching Article 82 or 83 is excluded and loses 3-0. So basically a walkover. CAF has implied the letter of the law despite referee's in-game decision and the result being ratified after full time. So Senegal have 10 days to appeal to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. Now, Casey, this is what you are saying about African football and now the poor reputation. Already, African football had very small reputation, minimal. Now CAF have killed it completely. They've just taken the small good thing that AFCON had and shattered it. Because as you said, players might now tell their national teams, there is no point of me coming to play.
Yeah. Yes.
Because if that is what is happening, why am I coming to play? Because we also know a lot of African countries don't pay player salaries, or even when they pay players their salaries,
they owe them.
Yeah, they owe them or they pay them peanuts. So a player might look at the club football and then look at AFCON and say, there's no point of me going. So we will start seeing things to do with injuries, or a player is injured, he won't be able to attend. Once the national team drafting has been done, all of a sudden they are fit to play. So that's one. Number two, CAF had one job and one job only, to make sure this competition is good enough to attract the 4-year plan. So imagine, Casey, after this, I think the next AFCON is in 4 years. Let me just confirm. It's in 2 years, 2027, because it's coming to Kenya. It's coming to Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda. So after that, it goes to 4 years. So they had a responsibility to make sure the tournament is good enough for guys to actually watch. And I believe, Casey, this was the first AFCON that had hype even from Europe.
Yes.
I was shocked Sky Sports were showing games. I was shocked foreign media were showing games.